quick correctional officer video, man. This is a motivational video, for my brothers and sisters that's working in corrections would be, and I'm talking about the public's perception of correctional officers. You know what I'm saying? Some of the hardships that often goes unseen working in corrections. When you look at corrections and you see it in the news all the time, it's hardly never nothing positive. When it comes to what we do, most of the time, the only thing they cover in the news is some kind of excessive force where an inmate died at the hands of a CO, officer got caught bringing in contraband, got sentenced, an officer got impregnated by an inmate or sleeping with the inmate, sexually abusing the inmates. They don't never show none of the good and shit like that we do, so we got to stick together and we got to, be there for each other, and we got to try to educate the public about what really goes on behind the wall working in correction. Most of us, 9 out of 10 officers, we just trying to do our job to the best of our ability, enforce the rules, have a smooth shift, and go home to our families. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I said, a lot of the times the media portrays us, as being mean and cruel to the inmates. We beat the inmates. They try to make it out like that we're uneducated, we're just brutes, we forcing the inmates to do stuff against their will. We holding them hostage. You let the inmates call out to their family. They paint a whole different picture from what the reality is. A lot of times the inmate probably did something wrong. Let's just be realistic. And something happened. They quick to sue. They got their family calling the local government, the governor and shit like that, trying to get a full-blown investigation into what's going on at the facility, when in reality, it's this routine running of the facility. Prison's going to be prison. Stuff's going to happen. Inmates are going to fight. Inmates are going to get assaulted, stabbed. Staff assaults are going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, we got to bring more awareness to what we actually do. Like I said, they try to make it seem like we these bad people, we this and that, we harming, beating the inmates, we not feed them, shit like that. When in reality, we work in a negative environment on a daily basis. We constantly go to work, right? We go behind that wall and we deal with people on a daily basis that don't want to be there. So it's an already negative environment. Then you dealing with dangerous people. You dealing with gangs. You dealing with this group of inmates. They don't like this group of inmates. They could pop off at any time, get into a race riot. You got to be on constant alert. So it's a constant negative environment as it is. And, it brings a lot of undue stress on us just for the simple fact that we got to stay on constant alert when we at work. You got to always go into work as a correctional officer, expecting the unexpected. It just is what it is. You can't never get lackadaisical. We dealing with higher levels of stress than the typical person that works in a 9-to-5 job. Most people, they go to their job, they got their typical, 9 to 5, Monday through Fridays, got the weekends and holidays off. They get an hour lunch break. Shit, we be in that motherfucker eating with on the unit with the inmates. It's most of the time when I'm working on the unit, I bring my food. I may get to go down to the officer mess hall, but I bring my food right back. I'm sitting in there in the office eating with the inmates. You know what I'm saying? Right on the unit. Sometimes the inmate, they see you eating, they may be respectful, but there's other times where they see you eating and they still knock on the door and interrupt your meal. So it's like, we don't get no uninterrupted hour lunch break. We don't get to go out for happy hour while we at work, shit like that, man. We got to be there. We got to be alert. You could be eating your lunch and you take your first bite. Next thing you know, you look out the corner of your eye, the damn inmate that got stabbed in the neck. He's squirting blood out. You got to now put your food down, get on your radio, call for assistance, and you got to handle that, man. So our job is way more unique and, different than a typical job. We don't work 9 to 5 hours. We doing shift work. We got to be there 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365. Just because it's a holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, shit like that, the inmates don't get to go home. They just don't let all the inmates out for the day. Then y'all come back the next day. No, somebody got to be there at all times. So us as correctional officers, we sometimes miss the important events in our life, the milestones. We may have to miss a family gathering, holidays, shit like that. You know, that's undue stress on us, you know. And it's not a complaint or a gripe, you know, because we knew what we was getting into when we signed up for the job. I'm just trying to bring more awareness to corrections as a whole, you know, and try to paint it in a more positive light. At the end of the day, it's a job and somebody got to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the criminal justice system. You know, the cops are out there arresting people that do bad things. Once they get caught, then they have to go to court and the judge sentenced them, and then they come to prison or jail. And that's where we come into play. You know, we there to enforce the rules, make sure the prison or the jail is running safely and securely. You know, in that role, we may be trying to rehab the inmates, trying to get them reacclimated, you know, to go back out to society and be productive citizens, you know. But let's be realistic. A lot of times it's a revolving door working in corrections. I've been working in corrections for 13 years, and I've seen so many inmates, you know, they get out and they come right back. They get out, especially when I worked at the county jail, it was really a revolving door. You would see inmates get out, they wouldn't even make it a month, man. They was just in and out. And then you look at their history and their rap sheet, it's like they've been doing crime since they was damn juveniles. They just graduated to the adult side. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, some people just don't learn. Some people think that doing crime or whatever they were out there doing is the only way. You know, you can't help everybody. I try to be positive. You know, when inmates, they about to get out, they come up to me, you know, they telling me about their plan. I'm getting my CDL when I get out, or I'm gonna try to drive trucks for Amazon, or my family got this business and that business, man, I'm gonna go work for them when I get out. I got a plan, you know, I got a plan in place. I'm never trying to come back to prison. And I try to push them and encourage them to go through with that plan, man. Stay out of trouble. Prison is not where it's at. You know, it's not like I want to see people in there, even though my job is keeping them in there. You know what I'm saying? I still want to see people get back out and get a second chance at life and do good things. You know what I'm saying? You know, I try to push them and inspire them. You know, look at me. I mean, I got an honest job. I make good money doing this. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go out there and sell dope or go back to robbing people, scamming, whatever it was you was doing, man. You can get an honest job, man. You know, slow money is better than no money. You know, being locked up, you know, risking your freedom. You out here in a gang, shit like that, risking possibly getting shot and killed, shit like that, man. That shit's played out. You know what I'm saying? It's a better way. You know, so I always try when an inmate come up to me and I can tell they genuine and they sincere and they really trying to get out there and do better for themselves. I do everything in my power within the, you know, the system to try to steer them in that direction. You know, don't come back here. You don't need to come back here, man. Stay out there, man. Get you a job. You know, stay with your family, take care of your family, man. Spend time with the kids. You got a wife, husband, this and that, man. Just do an honest day's work, you know, and just try to live the best life you can. You know, everybody make mistakes. You know, hell, I'd have made plenty of mistakes in my life, you know, shit, that I'm not proud of. You know, I'm far from perfect. You know, we all make mistakes in life. They just made a mistake and they had to pay for the crime, you know, and they had to do the time and sit down. You know what I'm saying? This is the next thing, man, that people don't understand, you know, the public, they may not see, is that we're so short-staffed and overworked, man. You know, me personally, I like to do the overtime because the money's good and I try to take advantage of it to improve my financial situation and to get ahead in life. But you got a lot of officers and staff, they just want to do their 40-hour work week and go home. And it's like when they're forced, you know, to work 2-3 extra shifts a week, it leads to burnout, you know? And it's like a never-ending cycle. You know, we hire 10, 15 officers. Next thing you know, you got 15, 20 officers retiring. They getting new jobs or promotions. So it's like you take one step forward just to get knocked back too. You know, it's like I've seen that my whole career, man. I've never seen it. I think the only time I ever seen it when we were like all damn near fully staffed was like when I first transferred to the federal prison I'm at down here in North Carolina back in 2015. Back then, you know, you get mandated. You know, you might not get mandated again for like 6 months. You know, that's just how it was. We were damn near fully staffed. When I worked at my last federal prison in West Virginia, I was there for like 2 years. I only got mandated one time in that 2-year period. I was at that federal prison. But nowadays, man, we so short-staffed. It's like staff are getting mandated like once a week. Sometimes, like, you know, if you a rookie or you at the bottom of the totem pole, man, they getting hit on the head like 2-3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, ain't shit you can really do about it. So I can see like where the low morale comes in. You know, people starting to get burnt out. People, man, they tired of getting hit every week, so they start calling in sick. Then it's like when he call in sick, that's a hole in the next shift. So they got to mandate somebody else. It's like a never ending cycle, you know. And we just got to be strong mentally, man. You just got to do the best you can. You know, the upper management, they trying their best. You know, they say they trying to hire as many people as they can. They've been throwing out hiring bonuses and recruiting incentives, upping the salary. You know, you just got to hang in there. If you know that this is what you signed up for, you know, you got to take the good with the bad. You know, you got to try to have that longevity in your career, you know. And at the end of the day, just remember, it's a job, and you got to try to make it work for the best for you, for your situation and your family. You know what I'm saying? You start getting tired, burnt out. You know, me, when I started to get like that, you know, I'm like, man, I'd have been killing it, man. But for some reason, I'm just tired. I'll take a day off, you know, or I'll be like, can I get a day off, Lou? You know, if they ain't trying to give it to me and I really need it, I'll just call in sick. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do working in this field. You know what I'm saying? This is the next thing. Staff suicides and corrections is typically higher than other professions, just for the fact that it's so stressful. We see a lot of shit behind that wall. You know, it's like you feeling hopeless. You working all these different shifts, all these different hours, you know. And in my career, I done seen so many staff suicides. One of my homies, man, I used to work with on night shift, man, he ended up committing suicide. And that shit really broke me, because he was a solid dude. He was a good dude. And I used to just love working with him on night shift. You know, he worked the unit across from me, and we counted together when it was count time and stuff. And we used to have some good ass conversations, man. He had my ass laughing, all kind of stuff. And it was like, I don't know, something happened. And it's like he got to drinking every day. And it's like, then he just stopped coming to work, man. Nobody had heard from him. Some of the other coworkers had tried to go to his house and check on him. And he kind of got hostile when they knocked on his door and told him they better get up out of there. And it was like, nobody heard of him. Then I tried to call him a couple times, you know, he never answered my calls. So I'm like, damn. Then it was like maybe a year later, man, I was walking into work with one of my other coworkers. They're like, yo, you heard what happened to Elliot? They was like, man, he moved back to South Carolina. He ended up committing suicide. You know, I was kind of devastated, man, because it's like, man, you 1 minute you see somebody, and it's like the next minute they gone. You know, we'd have had, like I said, plenty suicides at this prison I'm at over the years. We'd have had a lot of officers die unexpectedly, have heart attacks. They done got in tragic car accidents, man. We just lost a few officers, man. We lost 2 officers, man. They was a husband and wife that worked at the prison with me. They died in a motorcycle accident. We had 2 other officers that died in motorcycle accidents, man. So, you know, we dealing with stuff like that, man. Staff suicides, you know, people getting walked out, man, unexpected deaths. You know, that's a lot of stress on us. You know, so like I said, you just got to be strong. If you need help, man, or you just need help coping with everything that's going on, working in this field, by all means, seek help, man. Get help. Go talk to somebody, man. Somebody you can confide in. You know, a lot of agencies, they got like the crisis helpline. I think for us, it's called EAP. You can call them if you're going through like a crisis. It don't even got to be related to work. It could be something related like outside of work. You know, you're going through a family crisis. You stressed out, man. You depressed. Try to get help, man, before you go down that path, man. Because I don't like to see people, you know, go out like that. You know, some stuff is unfortunate, man. It's a part of life. You know, some people may, like I say, they tragically die, or they have a heart attack unexpectedly. But, you know, like as far as the staff suicides, man, if you feeling some type of way, man, always try to, you know, seek help. And, you know, I like to say this too, man, to us, the people, you know, when we talking to our coworkers, you know, even if you don't like somebody, man, you know, you can still speak. You never know what somebody may be going through, man. You just saying hi, you know, have a good rest of your shift may be the difference between them, you know, ready to just crack and end it all right there. You know, as soon as they get off their shift, they go home and commit suicide. So, you know, try to be as kind as you can to people. You know, I know we got our animosity sometimes at work, our differences. You know, you may have beef with a certain coworker. You know, it's the workplace drama, shit like that, man. But we got to try to come together at the end of the day, you know, and do this job and be there for each other, you know, because at the end of the day, we all we got. You know, when shit go down, a fight, man, a riot, motherfucking staff assault, Ain't like we call the police on that street or, you know, the emergency department. We are the first responder. It's us. So we got to, when shit go down, we always got to be the ones to rally together and sort it out, man. And, you know, get the situation back under control. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, this video is not no gripe. It's not no, you know, complaining, just shit like that. It's just me bringing more awareness to corrections, correctional officers, correction staff, and what we do in a more positive light. You know, maybe people on the public's perception, you know, they may have seen something in a movie. They thought, you know, all guards are bad, or maybe their family member was locked up and they had a bad experience, shit like that. Like I say, stuff happens, man. You got a few bad apples, you know, people that use excessive force, do things they're not supposed to do. But at the end of the day, 99% of the correctional staff and people that work behind that wall are just trying to do their hours, you know, do their job to the best of their ability and go home to their family. Y'all like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok at The Ghetto Bodybuilder. I got merchandise for sale on my website. Make sure you shop with me on my website. Y'all got any comments, questions, any ideas or topics for future videos? Make sure you drop a comment and I'll be sure to respond to you as soon as I can. Y'all know how we coming. Let's get motivated.